If you grew up watching SpongeBob SquarePants, Rugrats, or Drake and Josh, chances are you've had Nickelodeon playing in the background of your childhood. But have you ever wondered how this quirky, slime-filled, kid-focused TV channel came to be? The story of Nickelodeon is one of bold experiments, big risks, and a brand that wasn't afraid to get messy, literally and creatively. Nickelodeon's roots trace back to 1977, when it wasn't even called Nickelodeon yet. It began as an experimental cable channel in Columbus, Ohio, called Pinwheel. Its goal? To provide educational and entertaining content for preschoolers. There were no commercials, no flashy graphics, just simple puppetry, animation, and storytelling. While well-intentioned, Pinwheel struggled to attract viewers. In 1979, the channel was rebranded as Nickelodeon, a name inspired by the old 5-cent movie theaters called Nickelodeons from the early 20th century. With this rebrand came a bold new mission: to create a full-time television network just for kids, something that had never really been done before. But even with the new name, things didn't take off right away. Early programming was mostly imported shows from overseas or repurposed educational content. The network was struggling financially and was even considered a failure in its first few years. Then came the turning point in 1984, when Nickelodeon hired a new general manager, Geraldine Labron. She had a vision: make Nickelodeon by kids for kids. Under her leadership, the channel adopted a totally new identity. Gone were the serious educational shows. In their place came colorful, wacky, and often downright weird shows that celebrated kids' imaginations, humor, and energy. Nickelodeon also introduced something that would become its most iconic symbol: green slime. The first major hit came with You Can't Do That on Television, a sketch comedy show from Canada where kids got slimed whenever they said the words "I don't know." It was silly, rebellious, and totally different from anything else on TV, and kids loved it. In the late 1980s and early 90s, Nickelodeon found its rhythm. It launched Nicktoons, a block of original animated shows that changed the face of children's television. The first three Nicktoons, Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy, debuted in 1991. Each one had its own style, tone, and fanbase, but together, they marked the beginning of a new era. Nickelodeon wasn't just making shows, it was creating a universe. The brand leaned heavily into marketing, producing toys, magazines, theme park attractions, and even launching Nickelodeon Studios in Orlando, Florida. This was the physical hub where many shows were filmed, and fans could take behind-the-scenes tour. For many kids, it was like visiting a dream factory. Throughout the 90s and early 2000s, Nickelodeon became a cultural phenomenon. Live-action hits like Clarissa Explains It All That, and Kenan and Kel helped define a generation of young viewers. Meanwhile, the animation lineup exploded with classics like Hey Arnold, The Wild Thornberrys, Rocket Power, and, of course, SpongeBob SquarePants, which debuted in 1999 and quickly became the network's most successful show ever. What made Nickelodeon stand out wasn't just its content, but its attitude. It wasn't afraid to be goofy, loud, or even a little gross. It didn't talk down to kids, it empowered them. The famous tagline Nickelodeon, the first kids network, wasn't just a slogan, it was a mission. Over the years, the brand has evolved. It's embraced digital content, social media, and streaming platforms. It launched Nick Jr. for preschoolers, Teenage for older audiences, and partnered with major franchises like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Avatar: The Last Airbender. And while some viewers say the golden age of Nickelodeon was in the 90s or early 2000s, the truth is, Nickelodeon has always found ways to stay relevant by adapting to the new generation. From humble beginnings as an educational experiment to a full-blown entertainment empire, Nickelodeon proved that kids' TV could be bold, creative, and unforgettable. It created a space where kids weren't just the audience, they were the stars. And that green slime, it became a symbol of fun, freedom, and being proudly, unapologetically different. So next time you hear the Nickelodeon, remember, you're hearing the sound of a revolution in children's entertainment. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, what was your favorite Nickelodeon show?